This is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm, and this is going to be another video full of some of my favorite quotes. And I do these videos because when you hear a really good quote, it really helps you through trials and tribulations that you go through. Or even if you're going through something that's not particularly like emotionally draining, maybe it is challenging you mentally. Like prime example, right now I'm making contact with several hundred colleges, and a few of them actually declined my employer profile because I didn't have the correct information there. Didn't know I needed to put an address, didn't know I needed an email that matched my domain name. So I had to get all of that rectified, reach out to them. And that was nerve-wracking, and it's a really major step. So I've been challenging myself every day to reach out to at least 6 schools. So with that being said, some of these statements have helped me keep going, right? And it just makes me remind myself of, number one, why I started, but two, Les Brown always says, know your vitamin. And so throughout this process of being declined by so many institutions and having to go and basically advocate for myself in my business, saying, hey, I was not aware that I needed this in order for my profile to be complete. I was not aware that I needed that in order for my profile to be complete, but I've rectified these issues and this is my updated information, right? So you want to be able to do that. So with that being said, life is not about what you go through, it's about how you come out. So you know what they say, people really don't even care about what you're going through, right? This could be true for any field, no matter what. There are some social workers that don't care about what you're going through. Let's just be completely honest. And we would like to think that everyone who is in a helping profession or there to provide support for clients really do have your best interest at heart, but that's not the reality of the world that we live in. And so you just have to be real with yourself about what your outcomes are and how those outcomes were affected by other people. And if you think about some of your outcomes and the first thing you think about is how someone did you wrong, or what this person didn't do, or what they didn't say, or what you could have had, you're already thinking about it wrong, because the first thing is for you to take personal responsibility, right? And I know, like, we're human, we all have some real life traumas that we've dealt with, but just like I always hear Will Smith say, your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. So even though, no, you didn't directly go and inflict pain on yourself, or you didn't abuse yourself, you did not cheat on yourself, right? You went through the situation, but now what are you going to do about that? Are you going to decide, oh, I'm never going to be married again, I'm never going to be in a relationship again? Or from a business perspective, I'm never going to open up another business again, I'll never go and try to hire anybody else again. Maybe it's just not meant to be. And that brings me to a conversation I just recently have had with someone who is very, very near and dear to my heart. And she said, I don't want to choose a career and figure out that it's not for me. And I'm like, explain a little further. And she said, well, what if I choose something and it's not meant to be, right? And while I do believe in blessings, I do believe in destiny, I think that we create our own destiny, right? We are creators. And so whatever I want my life to look like, I can make that happen, right? And you have to be mindful of that. When you are writing out what you want to see from your life and you're setting these goals, do you honestly have in your head that it's not meant to be? Or that, oh, well, if it's not meant to be, that's not going to work? That's not even realistic. You know why? Because we make mistakes. There's trial and error. Sometimes you'll try something 100 times and it's not going to work. And on that 101st time, you are going to prevail and push through what you've been trying to get to for the longest. I just heard an example yesterday of how B. Simone started. And you know, she went through some struggles, and her primary goal was to hit $1 million by the time she hit 30. And she just actually released a book that discusses the power of manifestation and how she manifested everything that she has in her life. Guys, this is real. Like, it's so real. I can honestly say there were a lot of things I did that I put into the atmosphere first. I wrote them down first. I visualized them first. I put it up on my wall first and looked at it every single day. Said my plan to myself every single day. Every day. When I graduated undergrad, I took a year break, went to nail school. I think I tell this story all the time, right? And when I was deciding that I wanted to go back to school, I wrote on a piece of paper, I will attend North Carolina Central University and obtain my Master of Social Work. I will have an 8 average, and I will leave with at least a 3.8 GPA. I have a 3.8 GPA. I am a member of Phi Alpha Honor Society. Do you understand? Before I even applied, I was telling people, they're like, oh, so what do you plan to do next? You're always doing something. And I'm like, I'm going to go to North Carolina Central University and get my Master of Social Work. And that's what I'm doing as we speak. You have to speak it into existence. And you have to remember that it's not about what you go through, but how you come out. Because nobody cares for real. They don't. Isolation is a gift. This should be a given with the way this whole quarantine thing is going. Sometimes you need to be by yourself to get your thoughts right and to orchestrate a plan. I'm one of those individuals. After I get done with a day of super fun and interacting with other people and mingling, I need to go back home and reset. Isolation is a gift. I don't mind being by myself. I don't mind being alone for long periods of time because I know that this is where you can breathe your best stuff, right? So keep that in mind. Don't look at isolation as a problem. Next, don't give up. You have to keep going no matter what. It doesn't matter what you're facing. It doesn't matter what happened. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where you just have to take a break for your mental health. But a lot of the times when we say we need to take a break for our mental health, or we say that something's overwhelming, it's really not that. Sometimes it's just that it's getting challenging and we feel like we need to fall back. And that honestly is the worst time to fall back, because those challenging moments are what's going to get you to the goal, right? Pressure makes diamonds. Okay, all these buggies want to pop out today. And I know I'm outside, but come on, bros. Anyway, next, go all the way. When you do something, this is what I tell my sisters all the time. Don't just do stuff to be doing it. Like, if you're involved in anything, whether it be dance, whether it be some type of sport, whether it be music, submerge yourself in it. Like, give it your all. If I'm going to play violin, I'm going to be the best possible violin player I can be, and study my craft and practice, right? Be the best that you can be. Go all the way. Don't half-ass it, all right? And lastly, hard work, dedication. Hard work, dedication. You cannot have one without the other and expect to be successful. You can't be dedicated but dedicated in a mediocre way. Okay, yes, I'm going to do this every day and I'm going to give it 5 to 10 minutes of my time. Well, that's not enough. Okay? That's not enough. Then with the hard work, you can't be working hard and then not dedicated to it. You're working so hard for weeks and then something doesn't work out and you skip out on it. I've seen this a lot with some business owners, right? So you'll see them, okay, they're selling something, and then you're like, oh, okay, they're selling tea. And then a month goes by and they're like, oh, that didn't go so well. Let me sell t-shirts. Like, consistency, you guys, consistency, hard work, dedication. You have to put in the work, and you also have to be diligent while you're putting that work in, okay? As usual, if you need me, you know how to reach me. My information is down there in that description box. It never fails, and it also gives you instruction on how to make your payment, where to go to contact me, and all of that good stuff. All right, peace and love. Bye.